Hey, you ready, Keys?
Let's get it.
Get on your feet, Tiger fans. Let's get loud. Let's go. Let's get active. Let's go.
Yo, 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 yo. It's your boy, Be Easy.
It's your boy V Keys, and this is the You
You
Played
Played
Though
Though
podcast.
Keys, man, we back for another week, man, after a Clemson dub, man. How you feeling?
Yeah, man, we ourselves had a bye week, and within that bye week, we had 2 consecutive wins. We can briefly talk about the Pitt win, but yeah, man, it's another victory show that we have, and it's hate week.
Oh, man, yeah, it's
Yeah.
hate week. I feel like we look forward to this week every year. We talk about it all year. This rivalry week, this rivalry game means a lot. It's one that every year we got some friends that we have to talk to, man. We got
Yeah, and us being from the Metro, South Carolina, we grew up with this rivalry, Clemson, Carolina, our whole life. It's been a big thing since literally elementary school. So this is something we didn't have an NFL team growing up like in the Carolinas. So college football was our NFL, and either you was Clemson or Carolina, in the whole state of South Carolina. So every Thanksgiving week is house divided.
and I don't care who you are. You gotta pick a side.
Got to.
You gotta pick a side. All right, yeah. So let's briefly talk about that Pitt win since we were off the air last week. Man, we got the win. There were some good things that happened. Some things that were a little concerning. We had some trouble in that offensive line, man. Makeshift.
Yeah, first play of the game. The very first play, offensive lineman goes down, and we were already short, moving guys around from guard to tackle to guard, vice versa. So the Pitt game was a reversal of the Virginia Tech game. Virginia Tech game, we were trash in the first half. No offensive motion, nothing at all. Second half, we turned it on, scored 24 points, and Cade had the miraculous play to T.J. Moore. So the Pitt game was the opposite. We had a good first half, scored 17. Antonio had a touch. He had 2 touchdowns in the
Couple
game.
touches, yeah.
Second half, man, we couldn't. I think Mouth only had 4 rushing yards total for the game. But Cade walked that thing off with a 50-yard touchdown run, man. So
Yeah, it was awesome. I'm glad to see him making good decisions, right? Like, hey, I'm gonna take it into my hands, not gonna throw a pick, man. We just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try to get this first. And he had some. K got wheels. We gotta say it. K got wheels.
but the MVP of the game was T.J. Parker, who had a career high
man.
4 sacks, 4.5 tackles for loss, somewhere around in there.
Yeah.
He was a monster. So
And you heard on the I think it's 2 Left Turns podcast when he was talking about, hey, I came in halftime, I just got undressed, redressed, had to refocus, and he came out like a dog, man. So he's representing that number well.
yeah, he's wearing that number 3 at defensive end. So he channeled his inner Vic Beasley.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like he was a monster. He was a dog in that game. So if we can get more of that ferociousness from him and the rest of the D line from the outside, and we can do some damage, man. But and we'll talk about that.
Because all around defense played a good game that game. Defense showed up. One thing that we gotta address is just this the running game, because if they're gonna load the box, that's gonna be an issue for us. But so great win. And we'll get into the win this week against the Citadel. But let's touch on some of these other games that really going to have an impact in this college football playoffs, because we're trying to get in. We need some help in conference, but there might be a chance for us to get in that 12 spot. So let's go ahead and talk about it, man. So a lot has been talked. Not Ohio State, but Ohio State played the Indiana Hoosiers, and Indiana, they were undefeated, and the coach was talking noise and said, "Hey, all I do is win." Right? He acting like he DJ Khaled out here.
Mm-hmm.
But man, he played some competition this past week, and
Yeah, I mean Indiana, like it's kind of one of them teams. They haven't been there. They don't have a real brand name in football. And that's this. You think of Indiana, you think of Bob Knight, you think of basketball and all that. This is not a football school, but they're having a great year.
Yep.
They went up 7-0 on Ohio State, and then it was a wrap from there. Ohio State, dominated from there on out.
Yeah.
So and further entrenched themselves at the number 2 spot. So
yeah. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting They're a one-loss team. Ohio State's a one-loss team. Sitting at sitting at number 2. We'll see how that works out, but we're going to see how far the college football playoff committee drops Indiana with one loss. But one team that I think deserves all of the the whatever ish talking that needs to be talked is Alabama, because I swear, man, last year Jalen Milroe doing the Heisman pose. This
Yeah.
year, they lose to Vandy, right? And this is actually their third loss, and they lost to the Oklahoma Sooners, who have been abysmal this season.
They didn't lose. They got blown out.
Blown
24 to
out.
3. This is the first time they haven't scored a touchdown in almost 20 years or something. I mean, this might put the board on the hot seat. You lose to Oklahoma. I mean, there's been some bad losses. Should have lost to South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Go to Oklahoma. You get mollywopped, man. That's
Yeah.
not. And you're trying to make the playoffs because the Tennessee game you already lost, and that was what people were saying a de facto in or out game for whoever win or lose. But they still try to keep them in there.
Yeah.
After this embarrassment, there's no way. I don't
So
wanna
so
hear
so
it.
in fairness, now I'll say this: we always talk about the SEC bias, and there is obviously a bias, but Alabama's brand name to me is the only thing that keeps them in this conversation,
Oh,
because
absolutely.
with those 2 losses, and you lost to a Vanderbilt, now they got 3 losses, and they're gonna try to find a way to sneak them in and say that they're still relevant, but
Yeah.
they should be out of the top 25 in my opinion.
Well, I would say this: if Alabama's getting some brand name love, we should too.
Yeah.
So because we was running the playoff era,
Mm-hmm.
Clemson and Bama was. So if they getting some brand recognition love, so should we.
Yeah. Saban's not there anymore, but I think Jalen Milroe might be hurting his case, man, with them interceptions, because
He had 3 of them.
yeah. Man, how do you feel about the Ole Miss Florida Gators game, man? Because Lane Kiffin, man, I mean, this is
You've been vocal about him. I thought Ole Miss might have had a chance to go to the SEC championship this year, but
yeah.
they now have lost 3 games. They lost, they got upset by Kentucky earlier this year. And this is a bad loss.
Yeah.
Florida, they've been more down than up this year, but hey, shout out to the Gators. The last couple games, they've been doing their thing. So maybe they'll turn on as of late, and maybe they have a chance to beat Florida State.
Oh,
Man,
that's gonna be quite a feat.
Man, wow. But the Rebels, man. So they're sitting at another 8-3 team in the SEC, 3 loss. I mean, I would still. I mean, between them and Bama, I would favor them over Bama.
Yeah, I mean, I would favor them over Bama too, but man, it's crazy how we're talking about this college football players talking about a 3-loss team even be considered.
Right.
But another 3-loss team, man, Texas, the Aggies lost to Auburn, who have not been having a great year.
No.
It's one of those teams that can always turn it on, but you just did not expect this.
Yeah, Texas A&M, they go down there to Jordan Hare for overtime game. They lose. Great finish.
Yeah.
Great ending. They were sitting at number 15, and when I think they was a little higher than that, but they lost. And so
4th overtime.
they have Texas this week. They have a chance at redemption. They have a chance to get a great win, and I think they're saying they still have a chance to make the SEC championship game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but
based on conference wins and all that, yeah.
They got manhandled by South Carolina. You go lose to Auburn, and you got some bad losses yourself.
Yeah.
So I mean,
and when do we start talking about quality of losses? Like, because they talk about quality of wins and stuff like that. Like, come on, man, you're taking L's to unranked opponents. Some opponents that are not even 500 or that are 500. It's just a bad. Just a bad sight, man.
Well, I'll say, speaking of unranked opponents, Kansas beat the Buffaloes, man. They were unranked.
Yeah. And Deion said in his post game that, they were smelling themselves a little bit. But, I don't know, man. Colorado, I looked at them as, they got the Heisman hopeful there.
2 of them.
2 of them, rightfully so. They've been playing some good ball, but defensively, man, they just got a lot of work to do, man.
Well, and shout out to Kansas. They become the first team in college football history. This is a crazy stat with the losing record to beat 3 consecutive ranked teams. So they've done that. They beat Iowa State, BYU, and Colorado all in a row.
Yeah.
and they had a losing record. And they're still 5-6. They're under 500.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a horrible loss for Colorado, and that does everything but knock them out. If you lose to Kansas, the
Yeah.
Jayhawks, what I
Yeah.
mean?
In Arrowhead at that, man. But hey, it's already been said. Shador, he's out of town, man. He's going to the league.
Yeah, he said I ain't going to class.
Yeah.
He's talking about y'all can register for class next year. Who?
For what?
He said I'm out.
And I think Travis just said something. Said, yeah, I'm going to the league. So, um, another game that probably is going to have some playoff implications based on where we're ranked. BYU, they just lost to Arizona State. So,
Yeah, I mean I don't. Maybe it's not a huge
Yeah.
difference, but BYU because I didn't believe in them anyway. But
mm-hmm.
it's good that they lost. They were ahead of us, so that's just one more,
Yeah.
that we can climb in front of.
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the Keys, man. Clemson, they got a 51 point to 14 edge over the Citadel, which we can talk about competition. We can talk about FCS, FBS teams, all of that. We can talk about the great, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But based on what I've seen, there were some great plays that were made in this game. But I think a lot more concern going forward for me as far as our ability to make plays when they need to be made.
Well, I'm gonna start with the ugly. Run defense, ugly. I don't care if they run the option. We don't practice that. I don't care. This is FCS school. They had their best game of the season. 288 rushing. Let's go ahead and call it. They had 300 yards rushing.
Yeah.
They had men running wide open. They out there skipping wide open.
Yeah.
Um,
It screamed undisciplined to me.
yeah. There's no discipline, no gap control, no nothing, no edge setting. That stuff we've been saying all year. So this is coaching, man. 100%. We've been saying it all year. So that's the bad part. Yeah, it's 51-14. Of course, the box score won't tell the whole story. But watching the game, there were way too many chunk plays, and that's a cause for concern for a Carolina team. That's a great running team with a running quarterback and a good running back.
Yeah.
So and you see the Citadel come in and drop 300 on the ground on us. That's not a promising sight when we for this week coming up.
So I took a step back and I'm like, okay, well, it was senior day, right? We had some outstanding play. Peyton Page, he actually got a pick six.
Oh yeah,
and he was one of the captains, right?
Big man
So,
balling.
As a senior man, I know that felt good. And then I know you wanted to talk about that play that Avion had, man. That was.
Oh man, Avion made a great play, but then again, it shouldn't have
materialized like that. Yeah.
So I mean, you got Citadel running back running untouched through the hole, 50 yards. He's on his way to score.
At least he thought.
Yeah. Avion Terrell came in and swooped down like a hawk, similar to what Nate Wiggins did last year in the North Carolina game when he hawked down Omarion Hampton, stripped him of the ball right before he crossed the goal line, which resulted in a touchback. We got the ball, went to score. That propelled the game. I mean, this game wasn't in doubt, but Avion came and hawked him down, stripped the ball from behind him, and came down with it. So that what a great play. Shouldn't have had to be made, like I said, but he made it.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And way to stay engaged. Way to stay engaged in the game where the outcome is already known. But we had a lot of our seniors and a lot of the underclassmen, bench players. Jay Haynes, he had a nice run. Man, he was out there balling. And one thing that I will say, Keys, I think we already talked about it. We already mentioned it. I'm not sure why he's not getting more opportunities, man.
It begs the question. You see the guy has speed. He has the ability to make cuts. Yes, the Citadel, I know, cool. But speed is speed.
Yeah.
Maffa don't have that speed. Maffa's a bruiser. He's not a pitch two back, which we've had problems with that all year. The pit game, 4th and 2. We pitched it to Maffa on the weak side where there's no blocking. I mean, it was a horrible play.
Yeah.
I mean, can we get him some screen passes or something? Jay, get him in space and see what he can do. I mean, he hasn't had any, and he's gonna be our starter next year.
Mm-hmm.
So to not have any experience, I mean, barely this year.
From a play calling standpoint, I feel like that this is situational football, right? There's situations where we need Maffa, we need to run between the tackles and run straight up the middle. Let's get 3 or 4 yards. But when you have an opportunity and want to keep the defense honest, let's do a couple of sweeps, right, left.
Yeah.
Like switch it up a little bit, right?
Tell you what, we getting swept on.
Oh yeah,
People are sweeping on us left and right, and we can't control the edge. So why can't we try it? Give people a dose of
they own medicine. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
and shout out to Barrett Carter real quick, who just
Mm-hmm.
was named the Butkus Award finalist for the best linebacker in the nation, and he also had a touchdown.
Yeah. Which when I think we both saw it, looking at it, I was like, man, what is this? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I know that ain't what I think it is, but yeah, number
Yeah.
0 with the carry, and he had some good form on the carry. Like he went in there, like okay, like he been doing this.
I mean, the line kind of opened it up for him, but hey
Yeah.
man, shout out to Barrett, man. I think he came into the season as being like the top 2 linebackers in college football. So
Top 2 and not number 2.
Yeah.
Keep grinding. Finish the season strong. This is what you came back for. You came back to be a champion, man. We have a chance. We do have a chance to make the playoffs, man.
Mm-hmm.
So if Miami loses to Syracuse, that's our chance to get to the ACC championship game, of course. But how do you feel about our at-large odds if we don't make the ACC tournament?
I'm glad you brought that up, Keys, man. So there's a lot of scenarios. We're gonna run down them real quick because there's a lot of what ifs, and this week is gonna determine a lot. One, if we're looking at the ACC right now, we know we got SMU who's undefeated in the conference. We have the Tigers, us 7-1 in the conference, and we have Miami that is 6-1 in the conference. They still have to play Syracuse, of course.
In Syracuse.
In Syracuse, no slouch. I think so the line is 11. How do you feel about that line?
I mean, it might be a little strong because, Miami just beat a bad Wake Forest team, but Miami did not look dominant at all at any point in the game. Wake Forest has had no kind of rhythm offensively, and that wasn't even because of the Miami defense. It's just the quarterback he's just trash.
Yeah.
So, they're turning the ball over, they're fumbling, interceptions. Cam just
They
throwing
had
some
plenty of
lazy passes.
opportunities too, man.
So you can't do that to Syracuse in the Dome because the Dome can get loud on you. Kyle McCord can mess around and have a game where he throw 4 touchdowns on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you already lost at Georgia Tech. So this could be.
Yep.
This could be a L from Miami. And they've been playing with fire all year.
All year. Fourth quarter heroics all year. And they should have lost to Louisville. And to your point, Syracuse.
And Cal.
Yeah.
Duke. Had the chance. So
There's a list. But to your point, Syracuse, they're playing in Syracuse. This is Syracuse. As far as what they got to play for, this is their game, right?
Yeah.
So
they have nothing to lose, man. So I expect them to have them boys ready.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think hey man, let's go do this for Dabo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why not?
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Why not? Why not?
They ruined our season in 2017 when we went up to the Carrier Dome and lost.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly Bryant went out in that game with a concussion, and we lost in Syracuse. So and we've had battles with Syracuse over the years.
Only no Babers. So
Miami?
so that's an opportunity for us to get into the ACC championship. So, bar none, if even if they keep that game close, we'll see how the college football committee. It's really in their hands at the end of the day because they voting and whatnot. But looking at where we are, we're going to be probably ranked right now. I think in the AP poll we're 12.
Yeah.
Right. And the college poll, the coaches poll, we're 12. So if we end up being around that area, I'm just say this, Keys. I think we need to be at least number 9 to really realistically have an opportunity, right?
And with all this being said, that we'll still talk about the formulas. This is all contingent on us beating the Gamecocks.
Yes.
And we're gonna get into that in a second, but we just want to put that out there too. Like all these scenarios, we still got to take care of business.
Exactly.
If we don't take care of business, none of this matters.
Yeah. And the Gamecocks are ranked too, so it's a ranked opponent. So it does have some cachet. Now, we also have Tennessee, who's ranked slightly ahead of us.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt has been, I don't want to say that they've been overachieving, but they have beat some quality teams this year.
Yeah.
So it's no slouch. It's no give-me game. And it's SEC versus SEC, so Tennessee needs to win this game.
And it's another noon game, so it could be a little sleepy game. You know what I mean? It's in Vanderbilt. I give them a solid chance though.
Yeah.
to pull out the upset. I mean, they beat Alabama early this year, so
Yeah. I think that's
Tennessee.
actually in Nashville. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in Tennessee. Yeah, and it's gonna be. We got some cold weather in the south, so it's gonna be a cold afternoon. They might can do it, man.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think they might can do it.
I mean, this might be their year. They're three. Vanderbilt is 3-4 in the SEC, so they might. This might be their little last hurrah. But so you got that game. You also have Notre Dame, who of course they're not in the conference.
Yeah.
They lost one bad game to Northern Illinois, but they're playing USC, and USC has not had a great season. They're not ranked, but Notre Dame's only a 7.5 point favorite in this game, and they're playing in California.
Yeah, I mean, another little rivalry game. I have no interest in this game. I'm sorry. Notre Dame is just they always gonna find a way, to try to put them in there too. So
Yeah.
sitting at number 6. Even if they lose USC, since they not in the conference,
They'll probably
they
get
can
that
still,
last
yeah,
spot. Yeah.
they can still find a way to do something with them. So
Yeah.
I hope they lose.
Yeah.
That'll just make things a little easier.
If they get boat raced, then it's time
yeah.
for discussion though.
Yeah.
So we also have Texas against Texas A&M. Now Texas A&M just lost a close game to Auburn. They're fighting for their SEC lives as well. So Texas is sitting at number 3. This loss could mean something as well.
And this is where game day is at this week. Yes, at Texas A&M, a night game. So it's gonna be rocking in there. I mean, if the Aggies can kind of return to mid-season form where they were looking good around week 5, 6, 7, they can make this difficult for Texas and Quinn Ewers. But
Yeah.
I think Texas they favored by 6. I'm gonna take them by a field goal in this one.
Okay.
I think they win this close one.
Yeah. These rivalry games are always a little tough to call. So this last ACC matchup, that I really don't know how to call this one, Keys, man, and I don't want to pick with my heart here because SMU has been running things in the ACC. Cal, they're 2-5 in the ACC. They have not played well, so their introduction to the ACC has been poor. SMU's introduction has been awesome.
Yeah.
But SMU is almost a 2-touchdown favorite in this game.
It should be. I mean, they're at home. Like you said, California hasn't had a great introduction to the ACC, but they were up 28 or 25 points on Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Had a complete collapse and let Miami come back. But SMU, I mean, I got to give them their props, man. They first year in the ACC, they haven't lost a game, and they're looking good at doing it. So even if they lose the Cal, they're still automatically in the ACC championship game. So I don't expect them to lose. So
So there's a
so that breaks down everybody else. So now what's on the docket now? Let's talk to them.
All right. So Keys, man, just to drop them some facts on the Uplayedtho faithful out there. The last time that both USC or the Gamecocks and the Tigers were both ranked and the Tigers won was the Rod Gardner the catch in 2000.
2000.
We had some years where both of us were ranked, and those are the Ties Boyd years where we just couldn't get over the hump. And we didn't get it. We didn't win again until Deshaun, got under the helm. And last year, of course, we won the game last year. We did not have an offensive touchdown. Luckily, we were able to make some field goals to get us over the hump there. And the year before that, they won. The Gamecocks won by a point, right?
Yeah,
30,
we're talking
31.
about the Ties Boyd era where he didn't beat the Gamecocks one time, that's he's looked at as one of the great quarterbacks in ACC history, not just Clemson history, but for us Clemson fans, that is as great as Ties was. We can't help that is a little stain.
Yeah.
We're like, man, you ain't beat the Gamecocks one time with
With
we had Sammy, you had Nuke, you had. You had a young Mike Williams real quick. You had, all these weapons we had, Dwayne Allen, and we couldn't beat them boys one time. And Dabo did touch on it real quick, just talking about the series history briefly in this presser today, like the 2013 game, 2012 or 13. We was more talented, but we had 6 turnovers. You don't win a game with 6 turnovers, so you just don't.
So let me ask you this: during those Ties Boyd years, do you think that there was a little bit of being outcoached because Spurrier was back there?
Yeah, too. Because around that time, I don't think Dabo was rounding. He was rounding to his form as
Mhm.
a complete coach.
Mhm.
Early on, I just thought he was a great recruiter, decent coach. Spurrier coached him. We had more
Yeah.
talent several of those years. Of
Mhm.
course, they had Clowney on the other side, a couple times too, and I think that might have played a factor.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
you know what I mean? So, but yeah, but after that, and we turned the corner.
Yeah, especially during those championship years, man. Um, I will say this: if we're looking at recent history, last year is a little bit of cause for concern because we weren't able to make a whole lot happen offensively. Um, Khalil Barnes had a game though.
Yeah, and it's different coordinator. We got a
Mm-hmm.
new coordinator. We got guys that's been proven this year that they can go make plays. Not consistently though. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, as an offense, we haven't been consistent. But I will say this game reminds me of the 2014 game. So we had lost coming off losing 5 straight
Mm-hmm.
to Carolina in 2014. Deshaun Watson's freshman season on a torn ACL knee. We win 35-14. It was a noon game at Death Valley.
Mm-hmm.
We really wasn't expecting too much, and we kept them from being bowl eligible that
Yeah.
game. That was Steve Spurrier's last game.
Yeah.
That was his last game. Deshaun Watson took him out 35-14. Octavius Scott had a big game. But this game kind of reminds me of that because, like I said, not only is it a noon game, but we've been seeing, and if we're going by what we're looking at on film and looking at the games,
Mm-hmm.
it's not much of an argument that Carolina's been playing better ball than Clemson has the last several weeks. They
Yeah,
they really
I
have
mean,
as a
I
complete
mean,
team.
that's one thing that sometimes Clemson fans we don't want to admit that, but I'm gonna be honest. You know, in the trenches, they have been playing a lot better than us. Now, our defense has really shown up in in last few games. T.J. Parker, Peter Woods, he's in, he's out, but when he's in, he's doing his thing. You know, Demonte Capart, I don't know, is he out? Is he?
Well, he hasn't made that announcement yet. They put out a depth chart today. He's not on it. So I think Dabo's is kind of playing poker a little bit.
Yeah,
And then we're gonna kind of wait. I'm pretty sure he's gonna play. He didn't play last week. I don't think he played. He didn't play the pit game. I don't believe.
yeah.
So
Well,
and
I'll say this: back to the trenches. We, you know, we've been playing a lot better from an offensive line standpoint, but we've had some injuries, and that's a little bit concerning because the defensive front that South Carolina has, I don't know what team we played with a better defensive front other than Georgia this year that has really tested us like that.
yeah, that's a fair point. And we couldn't run the ball on Pitt, which common sense will tell you, well, if you can't run on Pitt, we ain't gonna be able to run on South Carolina. But I'm here to tell you, let's stop the cap.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of hearing about these Gamecocks like they're the 2018 Clemson Tigers on the defensive line with 4 first rounders. You're not. They're good. I give you prompts, but
Mm-hmm.
you're good. And we have some work to do on the offensive line. We had injuries. We had work to do all year.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think we have some advantages on the outside.
Yeah.
So if we can just get some good blocking up front, get some patchwork blocking. I mean, it's not gonna be the best at times, but the key is gonna be Cade using his legs.
Okay.
We saw him take it to the house and end that pit game. So he's gonna have to scramble, get out the pocket, and make some plays downfield.
Well, I'll say this: we need to see some creativity in the play calling too. That's the only
Have
thing that's
to.
going to really be the game changer right there. Because I mean, we've seen it time and time again: run on first, run on second, third and long. We cannot continue. We can't have that, right? So it'd be great to have Jay Haynes involved, right? Along with Maffa. Now Maffa's going to have a workload. That is obvious. He's the workhorse, but Keys, who do you feel like, as far as playmakers, both on the offensive defensive side, who do you think is going to have the most impact? Is it going to be offense, defense, and who on offense, defense is going to have the most impact outside of Cade?
Okay, well, let me answer that by saying this. So this year, right? Everybody who we lost to last year, we beat this year. Lost to North Carolina State last year, beat them.
Mm-hmm.
Who else we played
Well,
that we beat?
we didn't play Duke, right?
No, we didn't play Duke this year. We had 4 losses last year. Duke, we didn't play Miami regular season. North Carolina State.
Yeah, NC State.
Who else? Ain't it hard to.
It's
But-
hard to remember, man.
But either way, the teams we played this year that we lost to last year, we beat them handily.
Yeah.
I say that to say this. Last time Carolina came to Clemson, they beat us by 1 point. 1 point, 32-31.
Yep.
And you know who's probably hurting the most? Antonio Williams.
Oh yeah.
Because
Yeah.
he fumbled that punt return, and we probably was probably gonna go win the game with a field goal had he got that maybe decent return, probably get down the field.
So this is probably his get back game because he's making them come.
Antonio Williams, he got something to play for. I'm sure he's chomping at the bit.
Mm-hmm.
And we, like I said, we don't lose the teams we lost to. Last time we beat them last year, yeah. But last time we played at home, we lost.
Yeah.
And you know what? We had a chance to go to the playoffs that year.
Mm-hmm.
If we win that game, we're in. We won the ACC, we would have been in the playoffs in 2022. So the Gamecocks played spoiler in 2022. We can't let that happen again. So I think Antonio Williams, who's been a stud, 4 touchdowns the last 2 games, he's going to have to be a star again. Brandon Stoole's going to have to show up in the middle.
Florida State, that's what we lost to.
Yeah, Florida State game. Brandon Stoole's going to have to be a dog in that middle for us. But on the defensive side, man, I'm gonna go with the linebacking core, man, because we've been talking Barrett Carter all year.
Barrett Carter, yeah.
We should get Wade Wood back from injury.
Mm-hmm.
And
Sammy
Brown.
Sammy gonna get
So we're physical, very physical at the linebacker position. So Carolina has a chance to get to that second level running the ball. We got to take guys down to the ground, man. Like the tackling has been extremely shoddy all year long. We talked about it.
Yeah.
These are some big boys, man. 6'3", 240, sellers. So
yeah. And I'll say this, to your point, the linebacking crew has to be physical, but we also have to contain. And I'm all about getting sacks and all that, but like you said, Sellers a big boy. What, 240, right? Like he's not gonna be. He's kind of like he's gonna be like a Cam Newton, man. He's gonna be the one. You gotta get him. You gotta get him down to the ground. You can't let him get on the outside, like.
But he's bound to make some mistakes too, though.
Mm-hmm.
He's done made some mistakes. He threw a bad pick in the Bama game late. So
yeah,
if Wes Goodwin, who I've been vocal about, but not have been a believer in him, but if he can get the guys motivated and he can dial up some blitzes, some timely pressures here and there to kind of get, he's still a young quarterback.
Yeah.
And hopefully in a raucous environment in Death Valley, this is his first game because he didn't play last year, right?
No, I don't think.
Did Spencer Rattler play last year?
Yeah,
Yeah. So this is Lenora Seller's first game playing against Clemson, I believe, and we'll make sure. But I'm pretty sure it was Spencer Rattler last year.
Yeah, it's Spencer. Yeah, because this is his first year. His first year. Yeah.
He been trash in the league, but that's another story. But yeah. So I mean, we have a chance, man. Like I've heard, the Gamecocks been playing better, and I won't negate that because our defense has not looked good. Our run defense and at times our pass defense. And with this talent we have, with the Avion Terrell, the Peter Woods, the Barrett Carter, like if Brent Venables has his defense, we're no less than the top 10 defensive team in the nation.
Yeah.
No further than that. We're sitting at 55th in the nation.
Yeah.
Total defense.
Yeah.
That's the Clemson teams, the championship teams, the ones that's winning these. We're top 3.
Yeah.
Top 2, number 1, all them years, bro.
No question. Yeah, you're right. Spencer Rattler, he did play last year when they took that L. So yeah, I mean, and this is a rivalry game. There's a lot of high stakes. There's gonna be a lot of emotions and whatnot, and both teams have something to play for.
Yep.
So, we're a 2.5-point favorite. Clemson's a 2.5-point favorite, which means Vegas just is saying it's a pick 'em because Clemson's at home, so you're giving Clemson the advantage, but. I'll say this year, got more confidence in the kicking game. If we need that, we have threats downfield. The only concern that I really have, to be honest, Keys, is our O-line. Because I think that at all the skill positions, I mean, we match up well.
And here's the thing. So I'm gonna take that what you said. The kicking game, no, I have zero confidence in the kicking game.
Oh, no.
We had
I'll
2
say
more
this.
block kicks against the Citadel. Citadel blocked 2 kicks on us.
Okay, let me rephrase. I got confidence in our kicker,
Yeah,
not necessarily the blocking.
it don't matter.
Yeah,
they go hand in hand. If he can't get the kick up past the butt cheek, is what Dabo said in his words. Like we hitting our own guy in the butt.
Yeah.
If you can't do that, like who we beating? Like, because these games are gonna come down. If we favor by 2, that's the game. A field goal is the game.
Mm-hmm.
So if we can't execute, and I'm tired of Dabo not taking accountability for this extremely disappointing special teams. And like this
yeah.
is the worst. Like I said, this is the worst special teams performance. Like most block kicks and for any team since like 2012 or something.
Yeah.
Like so this is historic proportions bad.
Yeah, being happy because we
So-
got a kick is come on, man.
Yeah. So give me 2 things that need to happen for Clemson to win.
2 things that need to happen for Clemson to win. We got to be able to run the ball. If they're stopping the run, we're going to have a long night. So we got to be able to run the ball, and we can't give up the chunk plays, man. So even though they're going to be doing a lot of sweeps and trying to hit the edge and things like that, we got to be honest in the secondary. So as long as the secondary stays honest and don't give up chunk plays, then we're going to be okay.
I agree. That's a great assessment because we've seen, again, the Citadel ate us up on the ground. We've been getting demolished at times, especially on the outskirts of that defensive line.
Yeah.
So if we can contain, just have some containment. Of course, they're gonna bust some here and there. They'll 10-yard or 15. Just keep it at a minimum.
Yeah.
Keep the chunk plays 20 yards or more. If we can hold them to maybe 3 plays of 20 yards or less.
And I mean,
You know what I mean?
even though it's a noon game, it's still Death Valley, right?
Yeah.
So we got the crowd behind us. It's gonna be jumping in there, but I mean, I just hopefully whoever's healthy and playing can remain healthy, because that has been our issue, is just getting not being able to finish the game.
Yeah.
So
how you feeling, man? You want to go ahead and pick it for the people? What you want to do?
Sheesh. All right, man. So Vegas has this as a 2.5, us as a 2.5 point favorite, and I think they have the over under at like 49. Keys, I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm thinking that this is gonna be probably a lower scoring game, and I'm thinking it's gonna be a defensive showdown. I think it's gonna be Tigers 21, Carolina 17.
Okay. And so I've been kind of going back and forth because I don't want to sing it. Y'all gonna make me sing it. Y'all know I get down on the vocals, but my mind's telling me no. But my body's telling me that, and my mind, the energy is telling me we in Death Valley. My mind is telling me, all right, the rush defense is abysmal. Yeah. Carolina's a good rushing team. The offensive line needs patchwork. We got these injuries. They got a great defensive line, and they're going to just manhandle us in the – hey, man, stop that, man.
Yeah.
We come to play ball.
Yeah.
We lost last time in Death Valley to the Gamecocks 2 years ago. Different team, different quarterback. And you see what DJ doing, different team. But it's a lot of the same guys back on defense and offense. Like I said, Antonio Williams. So with that being said, man, I think the Tigers get it together. We know what's on the line. Fate is not in our hands when it comes to the ACC championship game.
Yep.
So we can make a statement win and still possibly get in that large bid. Dabo can preach that to the boys. And like, look, man, hey, we still got something to play for.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I do still believe I believe it'll be low scoring as well. I think we make the kick to win it. I got Tigers.
Okay.
24-21.
24-21. Okay, I like it. Y'all heard it here first, man. We'll see how it goes this weekend. And always go Tigers. And this is the game that we get up for right here. This is the game all year that we get excited for. We talk about it at the beginning of the season.
Yep.
So, we pump, we hype. Shout out to M Dub, shout out to Matt.
Shout out to C Hills. I mean, shout out, we got all our boys most of our boys is Gamecock fans. So,
Yeah.
So we go hard the orange and purple, and it's no secret. As you played, though, that's what we do. But like I said, this has been a heated rivalry our whole lifetime. Clemson is dominating the series, 70-something to 40-something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we've been dominating. We got the championships in there. But I mean, I will say that year, them 5 year stretch where they beat us, that kind
Yeah.
of hurt. And then Deshaun Watson came and turned that thing around.
Ran
2014,
like 7 of them straight.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. They were scared to play us in 2020, 21, 22. We lost one last year. And like I said, man, we got to get that get back, man. So
Yeah.
y'all see it as you played, though. Make sure y'all follow us on everything.
All of it's right there. Also, check out our podcast on 7:30 The Game, ESPNCLT.com. Search for Uplayedtho, U space plays space THO. All of our podcasts will drop in, and we're gonna keep giving y'all this good content, man. We got some good interviews that are coming your way. We got one right now that's out. Reggie Merriweather, part 1 is out, so we're gonna be dropping them in sections, man. And it was a great conversation, man. So shout out to you, Reggie. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
And hey, man, it's rivalry week, man.
Hey, it's rivalry week. It's hate week. Go Tigers. Let's play your best game of the season. Anything can happen, man. Just take care of the ball. That's number one. Hey, go Tigers.
And with that said, Keys,
We out.
we out.